Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right?
No, welcome to the next session of Windshire University. So the tagline is for now is Eberron Adventures. It's Windshire University. So I thought it would be kind of interesting, like stealing from other like real plays. I thought it would be kind of fun to just for everybody to get a chance to kind of be. I want to try to have opportunities for people to be creative and contribute like their own thoughts about their characters. So I thought it might be kind of fun. That's why I tried to give you a little teaser and send a message out to give you some time to think ahead. If you saw it, cool. If not, then come with something off the top of your brain. But I thought we could go around the virtual room, so to speak, and you could each say a fun fact about your character when they were a kid. So someone can go first, or I can pick.
Well, I'm Velma Dimadani, and when I was a little girl, I had a box of crayons, not the 8 colors, not the 64, the whole 128 colors, because I was special, but I only used 8.
Whoa.
And now it's down to 2, black and white.
Dang. Way to make it dark. Way to make it all dark and visceral. It's good stuff. What about yeah, like what's a fun fact about Lissa?
She, when she was younger, she found a strange animal in the woods. And she gave it some food and got it to come home with her. And her parents were very, very upset because it turned out that she brought home a baby dragon. Nice. And they were like, Lissa, you can't do this. And she was like, why not? And then they raised the dragon up a little bit, enough so it could survive on its own. And then they sent it back into the wilderness, back where it belonged, back to its home.
Nice. What about Lucar? What a fun fact about Lucar when he was a kid.
Lucar's parents are shopkeepers, and while they have a pretty decent business, it's never been overly successful, and that's because Lucar has a habit of helping the poorer folk of his town make ends meet when necessary. And so while his parents may have never gotten the successful shop making money hand over fist, it is a very well-regarded shop that the townspeople defend when necessary from outsiders. And they make sure that tradespeople always can get to that shop because it benefits them in the long run.
So it's kind of like a lawful good version of like mob protection or something almost, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. I'm really curious of a childhood fun fact about Azuri, unless it's all redacted.
No. So for Azuri, they live sort of off the beaten path, and during several years of his childhood, there was a deer that was not quite a pet, but was like mostly domesticated. It would come around most days, did get in the house a number of times, but was still an outside deer. So they had sort of a really weird relationship with this deer that kind of sort of was a pet, but kind of sort of wasn't. And they fed it. And then one day the deer just stopped coming around, and they did not. We have no idea what happened to it.
Aw. That's kind of sad.
Poor deer.
Poor dear. Skogar. What's a fun fact about Skogar when he was a kid?
When Skogar was 9 years old, he had a bully that went by the orcish name for Beans.
Did he have blonde hair?
Yeah. He was an orc with long silvery blonde hair, and he got Skogar in trouble with the elders, and by lying about what he did. And so Skogar ran into the woods crying, and he got lost. He spent a couple days out there, and then they sent out a search for him and couldn't find him. But they found the body of another young orc out in the wilderness, and they thought he was dead, so they gave Skogar a funeral. And he came back watching the funeral, and his parents all sad. But he noticed that his bully Beans was sitting there laughing, and he ran up behind Beans and kicked him right in the nuts as hard as he could.
But then
Beans is married and they've never had kids.
How did the parents everybody react upon seeing Skogar run from out of nowhere and kick his bully in the nuts?
Well,
thinking he was dead.
His dad was thrilled and was crying, and his mom gave him quite the wallop.
Fair. And last but certainly not least, what about Jack as a kid?
Oh man, yeah. So one year for the Winterfest, Jack really wanted this lightning scooter, powered by like mini air elemental. He could just scoot around town with. And he asked everybody for it. Like he asked his mom, he told his dad, he told the elves at the local store who worked for who. He really, really wanted it. And then when Winterfest came, he got it.
Nice.
And he was really happy, and he just used his lightning scooter and he scooted around.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's like probably his happiest moment of his life.
Very cool.
Except for maybe getting in on the Blazeball Cup scholarship to the Windshire University.
Yeah, that's like second place probably.
It's his dad was he was in the minor leagues of Blazeball, so he's kind of following in the traditions of Jack Senior.
Nice.
But he wishes he still had his lightning scooter, but he outgrew it.
He got too big for it.
Yeah, well, the air elemental eventually, went their own way.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fun to keep trying to do little things like this as we go, because then listen back and try to like find ways to incorporate some of this stuff into stories as well. I think we'll make it pretty fun. So we're just going to jump right back in exactly where we left off. I literally highlighted the part on my little paragraph here where we left off. So we left off, you're all in class, and Professor Pine Feathers, says this will be a great first adventure for you first years. And then she takes a dead tentacle back and puts it back in her bag. She says, okay, so let's all meet up tomorrow morning, and we'll head out on our adventure to harvest the seedlings. So all of you, go have a nice dinner in the cafeteria tonight and get a good night's sleep, and we will head out by 9 a.m. Please meet by the front gate. And then she leaves. She starts to leave the classroom. She says, and once again, it's going to be a pleasure teaching you this semester. And Jack, I look forward to helping you on your path as well. And she kind of gives you this. She kind of just gives you this. Probably a look that a professor really shouldn't give a student necessarily, but she gives it anyway, because she's a little bold like that.
Van Halen playing in the background.
Right.
And just for the sake of my pencil, just for the sake of the visual. I want to show this really quick. So this is there you go. That is Belchia Pine Feather. She's red haired. She likes to wear like a lot of like furs and stuff. This is her going out attire, like when she's going out on adventures and things of that nature. And she is a ranger, is her class, which is why it's very appropriate that she is teaching this class to all of you.
I turn around to the other halfling and I say, "Sit down, Waldo."
Wow.
Nice.
That's quite that's a throwback right there. Not everybody's going to get that.
No, I'm dating myself, but that's fine.
But I got it. Wonder what teacher's going to look like this year. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So so she leaves. And you kind of, there's some chatter amongst all of you. And you can feel free to, as you're heading off to the cafeteria, you're on the way to the cafeteria in building 9 where your dorms are. And you can kind of talk amongst yourselves on the way if you choose to. See how everybody feels about class and whatnot.
Well, I only rolled a 11. Let me mute while the dog is barking.
Oh, good.
I tell you what, this class, this is already my favorite class, you guys.
What's so interesting about this class for you, Jack? What was so interesting about this class for you, Jack?
Oh, man. I mean, the teacher, she just seems like she really understands the subject matter. And I just, sometimes you meet people that are like an inspiration to you. And maybe you don't even realize it at the time. Like, this is what I've been looking for my entire life.
Jack, you spoke to her for 1 minute.
Well, I mean, the class was like 45 minutes long, right? So, I mean, I just was, I didn't want to like interrupt. I was taking it all in, Skogar. There's more, like someone like that, she speaks, you just got to stop and listen.
Yeah.
That's great.
She really moved me. I'll say that.
I will say that I only rolled an 11 perception, so I didn't even notice the significant looks you were given.
That's for Velma. That's lower perception's probably not the best thing for someone who's more of a reporter investigator type.
Well, you guys go on ahead.
+5, but I just rolled poorly.
Oh, okay, fair.
You guys go on ahead. I need to look at the Windshire University like bylaws and rules for student professor relations. What's that? I just gotta do some studying. I'll be right back. I'll meet you guys at the cafeteria. Okay.
Well, if the dean wrote it and that's not his daughter, there might be a problem.
I'm not worried about some stuffy old dean.
So we'll split the party just for a second so I can have Jack do his thing. So the rest of you guys head to the cafeteria, and the menu options are very vast for a Friday night. There's actually, you got here early enough. So this time, like there's the salad bar set up. There's also pizza, and it's self-serve. You just, you grab a tray, you can get different stuff. They still have the normal food that you can go and order at the stations, but you can get like, salad bar and pizza and whatnot. And Sable is walking very close with you, Lissa, and she's just like, I kind of feel like maybe panini meatball sandwich thing sounds good.
That sounds great.
You want me to? I'll go order you one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And she's like, and she goes, she waddles along and like goes up to the counter, and she's like, like looking up like this because the counter's like here, and she's ordering the food, and they're like, doesn't like quite notice her, and she's like, excuse me, pardon me, hello, and then somebody else is like kind of like looking around like this, but nobody's looking down, and then so she finally goes, excuse me. And then they jump and they look down, and you see her. She's ordering. She's like going like this with her little short, little stubby fingers and holding up a 2. And she's like, yeah. She goes. I want 2 meatball paninis, please. And they're like, oh yeah, sorry. And they're all like, oh shit, like this. And they're like rushing to make them perfect. And then yeah, so she gets those for you. And you guys can go like sit down. So we'll just kind of like rush through just a touch on this one a little bit, and we'll say that all of you grab different foods that you're really vibing to, and you all sit down together at a table and you just start eating, and you're just talking amongst yourselves and having a good old time. Talking probably talking about, what do you think we're going to see in the forest tomorrow, and what sort of crazy adventures are going to happen, and then you're all just really like kind of amped up, right? The places stations you can go get food are like around the outer perimeter, right, on part of the cafeteria. Then there's a section where you pay. Then there's like the salad bar, which is more like kind of like an island off to the side. And then there's a whole bunch of seating, and then there's plenty of open space to walk through. Okay, so in the open space, you actually hear and then see that there are two students, and they're in each other's face, and they're just yelling at each other. And the one is a female dragonborn, and the other is a female drow. And the drow's like, "I didn't steal your moisturizer. The hell makes you think I would steal it? Your skin is totally different from mine." And she pokes the female dragonborn. And you say, "Actually, you don't even have skin. You have leathery scales." And then the dragonborn yells back, "You better stop freaking touching me. I'll burn your face off, Agatha." You can see that smoke is slowly like wisping out of her nostrils, and like it's just escalating. And then so you assume it's Agatha. She says, "Listen, Wanda, I don't want to fight you. I didn't take your shit. I go to the School of Healing. Why would a healer take something from you?" And then Agatha starts to put her hands together. You see like a dark energy that's forming in her hands, and she slowly starts to raise her glowing hands up in a threatening motion. So if anybody's looking around, out of the corner of your eyes, you can see like a lot of the students are just sort of like frozen and staring. And then some people are like, a couple people have smart stones out, and they're trying to get pictures and stuff, and capture imagery of what's going on. And it's starting to get kind of heated. Give you the opportunity if any of you would want to take an action maybe or something.
These are new students, if you don't mind. We haven't met before.
Correct. These are new to the roster of who you have interacted with. Yes.
Azuri kind of like ducks a little bit behind Lucar and just like kind of looks away from the action a little bit to what's happening away, and does one of these, checking it out, trying to seem so not interested in what's going on.
In the time that we've been here, have we noticed that there's like some sort of bells or signals to do like the changing of class or the waking up of students or the end of the day stuff?
No, because this is Friday, like this is early evening.
No, I'm just saying in general, has that happened? Have they used that in other parts?
No.
I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity of distraction to put a day's worth of rations in the pockets of my coats.
Okay.
Because you never know what we're going to happen in the forest.
So you're going like, where you go up to the salad bar? Like, how you doing it?
Yeah, maybe something a little bit more, less likely to like. I don't want dressing in my pocket. I'm thinking of bread, those types of things. You know, like
a
baguette or some sort that I can put in my.
So, one of the students that's doing like work study, he kind of comes up and is watching you, like just like taking with tongs and like grabbing dry things and like putting them in your hands, and the like he says, do you need a to-go container or something?
No, I'm small, so sometimes I have hard time carrying everything. I'm just taking it back to the table. I'll be good, thanks.
Oh, okay. He's like, oh, whatever, man. That's cool. And he just walks away. There's still like these two, as you're doing that, like everybody's paying attention to these two young ladies just kind of fighting and going back and forth. Right as it gets like super heated and right before right as Agatha is about to cast whatever spell she's got, like that she's cooking up in her palms, in walks Dean Branchbreaker, and he's like, and you see like a shield come up between like the two girls, and you see like there's and from behind the dean, like a security guy walks from around the left side of the dean, and is like, and he's like, you see like his hand holding his hand out, like, and his shield is staying up, right? And the dean's like, ladies, this must stop immediately. Who do you think you are? I will not have this sort of behavior in my university. I will have you expelled. You need to speak to each other immediately and apologize. Apologize to everyone here. And they're just like, they're so tense. And the security's like, he's like kind of creeping closer. You can see like he's a little bit nervous, a little bit. He's like, he doesn't want to get, this is some heavy duty, pretty powerhouse type of races going at it, right? And he's just like kind of his hand shaking a little bit, but he's holding that shield. And the dean's like, I will not wait any longer. I want you to apologize now. And they go, one goes, sorry. The other one's like, I apologize. And then the dean says, that doesn't sound very convincing. Okay, that's it. No blaseball games for either of you. That should be an appropriate punishment. You are suspended from the women's team. And they're both like, are you kidding me? And they're like swearing up and down. And the dean's like, don't push it. And everybody's watching. There's like smart stones out everywhere, taking pictures. You know, people are posting stuff. If you're following, like anybody that's following like the school's like social media page, and like you can see, like it's just their phones are going off because people are posting everything on there, right? Of what's going on. It's like hashtag it's going down in the cafeteria and like all that kind of stuff. So then they start to calm down a little bit. They're still pretty heated with each other. And the one mutters to the other one, says, you know, it's like, we wouldn't even be in this situation and fighting like this if you didn't try to sleep with my boyfriend, you bitch. And the dean's like, all right, security, take them away. They need to be in separate areas. One can help with the dishes and the other one can do something outside. They need to be far away from each other. And so security takes the drow away, and she's just like kind of like, you know, like kind of resisting, but then just finally is like throws her hands up and just walks to the back into the kitchen. He says he's like come with me to the Dragonborn. It's like come with me. I will take you outside. And then then you see the dean walk out with the Dragonborn. And like right as he's walking out, like some of you guys, some of you, your smart stone vibrates, and Lissa, yours does, and Skogar, I don't remember if did you get one too? I don't remember.
I think so.
Okay,
no.
So yeah, Lissa, just yours vibrates, and it's a text from Jack, and it says, dang, Dean, you should have just let him fight it out. What's up with that? And then that's the little awesome little background moment that happens as you guys are trying to eat your food. And Sable, like, she comes out from under the table with like panini in her mouth, and she's like, is it over?
Yep, I think so. Darn, I was really looking forward to a fight.
she's like, she wipes her brow. She's like, and you see like there's like sauce on her forehead from when she wipes her forehead off, and she like sits back up on the chair and just keeps eating her sandwich. She's like, oh, that was scary. And yeah, so that's so you guys finish your meal. You still don't, like, Jack still hasn't met up with you guys yet. And then you're finishing up your meal, and it's probably at this time now it's probably about like 8 o'clock ish or so. Most of the campus, like the shops and stuff, are all closed. You can go back to the dorm. You guys can have more conversation. You can explore if you want to. You can explore some of the some of the different schools if you want to take a closer look at anything, or just go back to the dorm and kind of relax and get ready for the next day, to go out to the forest.
I want to check the syllabus to see if there's anything we need bring with us to the forest. Gear, any of that type of stuff.
So when you check it, it just basically says make sure to bring a day's worth of food, and bring some water. Don't be afraid to if you have a smart stone and you want to take pictures, or a camera, that's fine. Just be careful with it, because you'll be in the forest and it's easy to drop one of those things.
I guess you're the only one who thought ahead, bringing all that food.
Yes, thought ahead.
Yeah, so you guys gonna all head back into your dorm room areas, pretty much, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
If no one else is going out, I'm following the group. I'm not afraid.
Okay. All right.
But if anyone else
So
Well, is there somewhere you wanted to go, Azuri?
no, but if someone was going somewhere, I'd tag along. But if no one else, I'm fine. Ignore me.
so Skogar and Lissa, you go back to your room, and Jack is just hanging out and laying in his bed, chilling.
Fiddling with my smart stone.
Yep.
Man, can you believe that, Dean? I was watching it all on the smart,
Right? I mean,
Very
he had to
disappointing.
come in right when it was going to get exciting.
Right? I thought I was going to see some maybe hair pulling and scale pulling or something. I don't know what's going on
Right?
on a Dragonborn. Anyways, man.
The drama. I wanted to hear more about the boy drama. Oh, man.
I mean, clearly there's some guy out there who's probably, getting an earful on both ends,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder who it is. Let's get Velma on this.
Right?
Right. So Jack, right as you say, I wonder who it is. You see a new post. Because there's also like a student, like a separate student, like group, like page in like the social media part for the school. So it's only for the students. And you see a picture pop up, and it's this half elf. It's this like lanky half elf dude but he's fit, but he's skinny, and he's got a popped collar and blonde hair.
Oh, this guy! Look at this guy!
Oh,
and
no.
underneath it says hashtag Chad the cheater.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this guy.
Alliteration. The blondes. Can't trust the blondes.
I mean, what do you like? I don't know. Like, is this guy good looking?
I guess.
Skogar, are you trying to get in on this conversation at all? What are you doing?
I've never met a Chad that's worth anything.
Yeah, they should have known better.
I mean, is that even his real name, or is that just what they're calling him? Right. Because, look at this guy. Come on, Skogar. I mean, come on.
Is he on the Blaze Ball team?
No,
And then
no.
you see,
It's not tall
like,
enough for Blazeball.
and then just like a minute later, you see there's a new that post gets deleted, and there's a new post, and it says hashtag Chaz the cheater, and then it says says stupid autocorrect afterwards. And then
this
so
guy
then
would
we
get
go-
chewed up and eaten out and spit out in Blazeball. Look at this guy, skinny little twerp.
So
Look at those pop collars. Come on.
Lukar is Azuri and Velma.
Starts
What are you
adjusting
guys
his own
doing
collars.
in your room?
Don't tell me this is coming back in style. Oh.
I'm gonna take a moment to pray to my God before I go to bed. I carry around a notebook and take sort of like a diary type of thing. Take notes of what happened today.
So before bed, Jack hangs up like kind of like a canopy over his bed that kind of like you can't even really see through it, but he just puts it up. He's like, this just makes me feel more comfortable. I grew up in the swamps, like all kinds of bugs. It's like a mosquito net. So like last night I slept really uncomfortably. That's why when there was that screaming, I woke right up. So yeah, I think this will really help me out. Don't mind me. I'll just be in here. I won't be weird or anything. It's just me in there sleeping. Just
Yep.
Just try not to. Yeah. All right. Don't worry about it. Then.
Good thing I brought your plugs.
No. Oh, nothing like that. No, nothing like that.
Azuri's kind of sitting on his bed and is very reluctant to try to go to sleep here after the nightmare he has had, and it's just sort of dreading having to try to go to sleep tonight. But he's very quiet about it, just sitting on his bed in the corner.
What's Velma? What are you doing?
So Luca, you're a journaler. Anything juicy you're writing in there? Is he using a regular pen or a quill?
Do I have pen? Is pen technology around?
Sure. If you want it to be, it is. I don't care about that.
I'm using a pen.
Let's mix it up, man.
And I say, not so much interesting so far. Just make a note of all those different people. It's hard to keep track of everyone around here. I grew up in the same town, so I knew everyone for the last 20 years. You maybe met one new person every 6 months or so, and I'm sort of overwhelmed with all these new people at once. I got to keep track of who they all are.
Well, I don't write it down. I got a photogenic memory. That was an intentional photogenic memory. So I got all the names right up here. I just don't know how they're spelled.
What was the deal with that robot dude, that Warforged guy? I've never seen somebody like him before.
Carl?
Yeah.
I heard that I'm taking him at face value. It would be interesting to find out what his backstory is. He's complete mystery.
What school is he going to be in? You remember?
He wanted to be a thinking. Did he want to be a druid? Or was that the companion be a halfling?
The halfling, Sable, wanted to be a druid. And Axford the elf is a bard. Thorol's a healer. But I didn't know what Carl was. Maybe
I'll have to
is just
start writing stuff down.
I'll give you a hint.
Perhaps with this quill you gave me.
Part of the Wu-Tang Clan?
There you go.
Right. Perhaps I should start journaling with this quill. Where did you acquire this?
At the bookstore. I don't even know if I actually paid for it. I think they were handing them out to freshmen.
It's very unusual. Most people use pens these days. What made you think of me not having met me yet to get me a quill?
Wait, I didn't get you a quill. Where'd you get the quill from?
All right, out of game. I believe it was you when we became roommates. You had a gift that you provided to me and to.
Oh, nice.
That's right. It wasn't a quill though. I didn't know it was a quill.
Green feather.
It was a feather when I gave it to you. You turned it into a quill. See? Everything has its purpose.
That is baller bookkeeping right there. That's
Nice.
good work. That's good work. Listen, it's
Anyway, so
right-
I was just prying to find out how he acquired it and why he thought to give it to me. Because it just seems unusual. It's just unusual, a green feather, and no one uses quills these days.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think that it could be used as a quill. I just saw this green feather on my travel here, and I don't know. There was something about you that made me think, this is sort of bright and cool looking. Maybe Velma would like this.
That's a throwback right there. That's some hipster stuff.
Since I forgot all about that Warforged monk stuff, I'm going to start journaling just like you. We'll stop at the bookstore at 8.
Hey, wait a minute, and I'll dig through, and I don't have any ink. Sorry, but who knows? Maybe we'll find something.
Cut back to Lissa. Cut back to you real quick. Just as you're starting to doze off, then your smart stone vibrates, and you pick it up and look at it. And it's a text from your mom.
Aw.
She's like, I haven't heard from you since yesterday. I miss you so. And then all these like 20 O's. Much exclamation point. Heart.
Aw. Lissa texts back and she says, yeah, sorry, been busy. We're gonna go take down a corpse flower tomorrow. I'm super excited. And she sends it, and then she sends another text. Well, I guess we're just clearing the woods of the seedlings, but still.
And then she sends like in one text OM, and then in another text G, and it says I'm so glad you're not going after a corpse flower. That is so dangerous. I would not let my baby girl do that. And then the messages get more and more heated, and then it stops, and it goes, and it just says, "Okay, I love you. Good night."
Good night.
And we forward to the next morning. Azuri, you get a fairly decent night's sleep.
Really? I'm shocked.
Yes, you do. And yeah, so you have yourself some breakfast at the cafe.
So wait, before you get going, coming out of the shared bathroom early that morning, you see Jack come out, and he doesn't say anything. Doesn't even look anything. Doesn't even react about it at all. But he comes out, and his hair is completely blonde now.
All right.
He's like, "Morning, guys," and then let's go get some breakfast, right?
Jack, what the hell did you do to your hair?
What's up, man?
What the hell did you do to your hair?
Oh, like I was telling Lissa last night, I've been having trouble sleeping. So in the middle of the night, I was like, I'll admit I got a little crazy. I thought, new school, new me. I thought I would give something to try. So, I ran into some girls at the Druid. What's her name? Luca, what's that girl's name?
The Sable.
Yeah, so I asked her, do you have anything to, any type of dyes that you could use, anything natural? And she helped me out. She was up. She was getting food. She seemed kind of nervous. It was cool. But so we dyed my hair. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Is it
It
too
looks
much?
great. No, don't worry about it. I love it.
Look at you. You don't look like you should be blonde.
I think, he does look like Pony Boy from The Outsiders.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Right.
he's like, yeah, no, I think, you'll get used to it. It's just, we'll give it a try. It'll grow back.
Kind of like an albino blonde guy almost, right? Like started this like
but it's like he's still got like dark,
more pale.
He's got like still got like dark like eyebrows and such.
That's great. That's awesome. And just to retcon for everybody, so when you look at the Lucar, when you look at the syllabus, it does also recommend bringing some sort of a weapon to protect yourself. So everybody should be expected to bring a weapon with them.
So like out of game, because we never really talked about it, are we like wearing armor or just like regular clothing?
So I would say is conditional depending upon what you're doing, right? So
sure.
So with this whole experience-based learning format, you are going out. You're going out on a adventure to learn stuff and gain experience. So you would want to make sure that you are properly equipped and protected.
That makes sense.
And just a reminder,
my inappropriately thick sweater as padded armor.
Nice. And just as a reminder too, you will need to specify. So all damage is considered non-lethal unless specified. Just wanted to remind you all of that house rule for this campaign, at least for now anyway. Okay, so you all meet up. So you have breakfast. Sable comes up and it's like, hey guys, I'm so excited. We're gonna go on a hike and do stuff in the forest today. I'm so stoked.
Heck yeah.
She looks up at you, Jack. She's like, oh, Jack, your hair turned out awesome. It looks so good.
Thanks, Sable. I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, I think it looks great. I think, I think it looks good. I think so. Yeah, no, it looks good. And he like looks at you, just pulls out his standing, so he's like, kind of gives himself like a weird face, like, it's good.
and then so you eat breakfast, you head out to the front gates, and you see Professor Pine Feather out at the front gates, and she's suited up, armor, fur collar, the whole suited up to the nines, ready to go. She's like, oh, hello class, are we ready to go? Everybody got everything they need?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Lissa's going to cast mage armor and then be like, yeah, ready to go.
Okay. How long does that last for?
8 hours.
Nice.
Jack puts on like it's not like quite a duster, but it's like a leather, nice leather coat that goes kind of halfway down. He's like, yeah. He pats a short sword on his side, checks the daggers, checks the short bow on his back. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
And then I borrowed these knives from the mess hall this morning. I hope they'll do. Am I to assume that the prohibition against against lethal damage is off for the next 8 hours?
Is this so Velma asks this?
That's Velma asking. I mean, we saw it in the syllabus, just rereading it.
She says, well, dear Velma, we're not a band of murder hobos. That's not what we're doing. So self-defense is one thing, but it should not be intentional killing of any creature.
Well, wait. The murder hobos were the best band out in the salt marshes. You don't knock the murder hobos. They're next level.
Yeah, I saw them once. They're brilliant. It's
those
like
7 goblins, and oh my god, their stage performance was just changed. It changed me.
I will admit, I did follow them on one of their tours, and it was pretty impressive, but it did get old after a while, though.
Yeah, you're right, Professor. But like, they did put on a good show. But like, I just never expected you would know them. It's surprising. I learned
no, you guys, you just good. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. Skogar gets you like really irrational, just instantly. Like, look at what they were borrowing from, and I'm losing you guys. This is dumb. I'm out of here.
She says, Skogar, it's okay. Everybody's allowed to have different tastes. I appreciate I appreciate that you have passion. Okay, so let's get going, everyone. It's a pretty brief hike. Should take us about under an hour. I did bring in some extra rations with me to make sure that we would be covered. It is critically important that we return before dusk so that we can stay safe. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody good?
Sounds good.
And she motions over to she kind of goes like this over to you see like some random like gnome in the one piece bodysuit, like the campus facilities guys, gnomes, right? And he comes up and he's like, huh? And she holds out a smart stone and he's like, picture. She's like, yeah. So come on, class, let's get in for a picture before we go out on your first big adventure. And so she like kind of tries to gather everybody up in a nice little group for a photo. It's like, and then she goes, Lucar, right? Lucar, why don't you get up in the front? I mean, for obvious reasons, next to Sable here, and we'll kind of get everybody together. And Sable is kind of like, she kind of stands next to you and she's like, hi, Lucar.
Hey, Sable.
And then the goblin's like, you smile now. And you see him just kind of goes like this, and then
Jack is like in mid pop collar. Like,
it's like his stuff's like the goblin keeps moving his hand around and like just press, like you see his thumb just constantly moving, and then and Professor Pinefeather's like, okay, that's good, and she takes it back and she's like delete. Oh, that one's not bad. We'll keep that one. Okay, great. She's like, all right, let's get going. So, she let me try to get stuff positioned here. Now we start using maps and stuff.
They're gonna be like maps and combat and shit. This is weird.
I know, right? Crazy, huh?
While you're pulling that up, Azuri has, for this hike, has changed into his chainmail outfit and is carrying around his big warhammer that sort of has like a folding flap on it so that it was able to fit into his trunks.
Oh, nice.
Now fully extended out, and he's just like, you can tell he doesn't know really how to carry it. It's like it's one shoulder, and then it's over a different shoulder, and then he's doing a like bench press thing with it. It's all over the place. He's so not comfortable.
He just like holds it out in front of him. He's like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, like a flag banner. He changes up grip about every 2 minutes and just constantly trying something else, and nothing feels natural.
He's just trying to get comfortable with it.
Yep.
That's funny. Okay. All right. So got a little map here, and it's a map of the forest. So she said, so she leads you on the hike to the forest, and says, and leads you to what appears to be a trail entrance, to a lush forest, and then says, okay, here we are, Duskwood, such a beautiful forest, and the pride of Windshire. We lay claim to it. She smiles. Let's head into the forest and find the corpse flower seedlings. She leads away into the forest, and as you walk in, She begins to talk about the flora and fauna in this region and how lush the forest is. You do have to be careful at times and have a high sense of perception, as you never know when you could run into something that might be threatening or dangerous. Typically, many of the creatures in this wood are as scared of you as you are of them. And as you pass through a cluster of trees, you enter a small clearing, as you can see here. So it's a small little clearing where you're surrounded by trees, and there appears to be another pathway forward. And you can see over here that there are 3 bullywugs just kind of hanging out over here. And let's see. And then the doctor's like, she's like, and she puts her arms out to block you guys from moving forward. And she begins to whisper to you, like really quietly, as you can see, there are some bullywugs up ahead. Although they are usually quite aggressive, I imagine we could easily take these creatures on ourselves. And then she smiles and she gets us like, and Jack, since you've been paying very close attention to her mannerisms, you see this gleam in her eye that you haven't seen before. And she smiles at all of you, says, "What do you guys want to do?" They seem to be indisposed and distracted by something.
But Dr. Pinefeather, you said we weren't gonna be murder hobos today.
I didn't say we were going to murder them. I never said that. Why don't let me get let's see. I would imagine, being short, that like Lucar, you'd probably be one of the people up front. Why don't you roll a perception check and tell me where you land?
But if we're not going to kill him, does that mean we're just going to knock him out and make him easy prey for something else in the forest?
That's correct. Circle of life.
But
12.
Really
not our problem. So you with that you actually can see that they're all 3 of them are looking on the ground at a cluster of these of these corpse flower seedlings. And you can see one of the bullywugs picks one up, looks at it, and just kind of goes, "Oh," and goes, "Rah, rah, rah," and then eats it. And the doctor's like, so the professor's like, "Oh, shit." She says, "I'm not sure that what that bullywug did was a good thing. I haven't seen something like this happen before. There's no way this is good." And as she's like kind of like trailing off, muttering to herself, the bullywug that ate the seedling starts to yell. He's like, and like flailing his arms around. And then like he takes a spear off of his back and starts to swing it around wildly. And then he turns facing the direction that you guys are in, and sees you and just books it and runs towards you. And I need you to all roll for initiative.
Whoa, what?
All right. Starting out low.
21.
Let's see what the old dice do.
Well,
what them dice do.
13.
Natural 20. It's a 19 for Azuri in total. 20 on
all
the
right.
only one I'm rolling all night. There it is.
So Azuri, you got a 20?
19 with the
19. Okay. What else we got?
13 for Jack.
21 for Velma.
Nice.
16 for Lucar.
Okay.
11 for Alyssa.
Okay.
And 5 for Skogar.
What did Lissa, what did Sable get?
Right. She got, oh no, I have to exit full screen. Here we go. 5.
Oh, Sable. Okay.
She's feeling a little timid.
Yes, she is. Okay, so let me get everybody in marching order here. Jack. Skogar. Sequel. All right, so let's see. We're gonna put this guy. He's gonna go here. All right. Yeah, so the bullywug, he actually starts to approach let's see. We're gonna say that he's gonna be approaching. Just gonna roll a die and see where I land. Number 2. So Azuri, the bullywug is starting to come towards you with his spear, and he's like, and looking to try to attack you, and he swings that spear at you, and does a 21 hits. I'm assuming?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be it is he is using 2 hands. So that kind of sucks. That's gonna only be 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
So not too bad. And he's like, and he jabs you with his spear. And then we're gonna go top of the order with Velma.
Too bad I missed my chance because I would have held my action and taken a picture of the what. So what I will do is taking a picture in action or a bonus action.
We'll say for now it's an action.
All right. Well, then I can't do a medicine check, but I am documenting what is going on. I took a picture just as the bullywug pulled the spear out and gave it a twist and pulled it out.
Okay.
All right. So I can't do a medicine check or anything on him. That will be next round if we get that far.
Okay. Azuri, what would you like to do?
Azuri grips the warhammer and just says, self-defense now. And he's just grabbing it with both his hands here and swinging.
Okay.
Oh, and let's see. What's the modifier to hit? Why did I not write that down anywhere? 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right. It's going to take 3 bludgeoning damage as I connect with my hammer.
It's all right. The bullywug's like, as he you just chest thud him with the hammer. Yeah, he didn't enjoy that. The other two bullywugs are still, right now anyway, they're still enamored with looking at the seedlings and like picking through, like, you see them tossing stuff like there's like pebbles or dirt or like, sticks or whatever that they're tossing because they're trying to find more of these things. Let's see. So you said that was 4 damage or 3?
3 bludgeoning.
Thank you. Okay. That's going to put us at Lucar.
Maybe instead of fighting, we should be running. I don't know. I'll try to slow this guy down, and I ray of frost at him. Does a 14 hit?
No, it is a miss.
And then I start to go backwards, and I don't know. I think my good friend Skogar is pretty big. I'm going to hide behind him.
That's fair. That makes sense. As you hide behind him and you miss with the ray of frost. What's the ray of frost range? Pretty far, isn't it?
It is 60 feet.
So it lands right on the ground by these other two bullywugs, and they both look up and go, and they start charging in as well.
All right, guys.
And Professor Pinefeather's like, it's okay, Lucar. Practice is what makes perfect. This is why we do these things. And it is now Jack, your turn.
Well, I step in front of Professor, like almost like between her and the bullywugs, and then I will pull out my short bow, and I will take a look back at her, and then I will let loose at the one that's engaged with Azuri there.
Okay.
That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that's for sure a hit.
That's 8 points of damage.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
So the arrow just like right through, and he's like, and this is the one that ate the corpse flower, and he's like, and he starts to he falls backwards, and he's like prone on the ground for a second, but he's still moving. It's like you knocked him down for a moment, but he's not out yet.
I give a nod to the professor, like.
And then the other two bullywugs come in. One's going to swing. One's going to try to actually bite Lissa. And it's going to, I'm assuming it's going to miss with an 11.
Correct. Misses.
Okay. And the other one is going to try to use its spear on you, Jack. And that's going to be for a 10 to hit.
Oh, no, that's total miss.
Okay. Both of them.
Hair sways out of the way.
Both of them miss, and they're just getting so mad and so upset. And it is now Lissa, your turn.
Lissa, jumping back from the attack, is freaked out and just reaches out her hand and casts a firebolt at the one who tried to swing at her.
Dang, do it.
Oh no. That is a 12. The 12 hit?
No, that's a miss.
Okay. Just too freaked out. Whoosh, goes wild.
Unfortunately. All right. It is the one that's laying on the ground stands back up, and it's like, and it like rushes towards Jack with the little bit of movement it has left, and tries to hit it with its spear again. And this time it's going to be a dirty 20
on Jack.
Yeah.
All right, that's a hit on Jack.
On Jack, and that's going to be 4 piercing damage.
Okie dokie.
And Professor Pinefeather's like, Jack, are you okay?
I'm fine.
And then she goes, I mean, students, are you all okay? Everybody okay? And then you see,
I say, at least it wasn't you.
So then Skogar, right before it's your turn, to go. Let me see, I gotta look this up real quick, sorry. The spell here. Come on. Okay, here we go. All right. Next time you make a range. Okay. All right. So Dr. Pinefeather is going to step in, and she's going to confront the other two bullywugs that just came in, and she is going to do a handy dandy multi attack. with she's got so many things on her character sheet, man. Because a lot of these teachers and whatnot are quite high level.
DFPCs, huh?
Obviously. Students know, but the teachers definitely are. So she is going to, so all this, like you see her, she's standing there 1 second, and then like next second you see she pulls out two short swords, and she just is like, she's like, and she's swinging and attacking. And she connects on one hit on each of them. And you see that these two guys fall incapacitated, and they've been knocked out. So these guys are knocked out and down. They are not dead. They are just knocked out. There is still the crazy one standing, and she then does a bonus action to cast a spell as a just in case, which is lightning arrow. And it is Skogar, your turn.
So Skogar was watching vehemently at Professor Pinefeather?
Yep.
Yeah. And what she did to take right where she hit the bullywog, and he focuses in, and he runs up to the last remaining bullywog and tries to hit it in the same exact fashion. So
okay,
I'll say, he kind of hit it from the side or something like that.
Okay.
So he's going to try to do that. And he was really looking back, and he looks, and he looks back, and he's looking back at the wound, and then he goes to swing. He's still looking at the bullywog that she killed, and he just swings 4 feet over the thing's head. And then looks back because he rolled a 1. Okay. You're gonna have to teach me this one a little better. I'm not following you. And that was his turn.
The professor.
Can you repeat that?
The professor's like, it's okay. It's okay. I can help you. I can help you get it. You're almost there. You were so close. And it's actually Sable's turn. What's Sable gonna do?
Sable is gonna she will kind of square herself up, and she's going to try to attack this last bullywug with her staff, her quarter staff.
Okay.
And let's see how she does.
She's like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna do it. Good, get you.
Yeah, and she gets an unnatural 20.
Skogar leans his face in really close, dangerously close to this. He's looking.
And then there's just a quarter staff that slams down on the head by you. She's like,
he whips back. Oh,
sorry, so Skogar.
No, I see what you did there. Yeah, you hit it.
Great Sable impersonation, by the way. Nicely done. What's the damage on that?
Let's see. Shoot, what's a quarter staff damage?
Probably a D6.
Yeah.
I think it's D6 or a D8 if it's two-handed. I think it might be a versatile.
Oh, versatile. Yeah.
Let's 5. She got 5.
Okay. With one connecting shot to the head, to the temple, takes this last bullywug out and knocks him clean out cold. And as soon as that bullywug drops, she as soon as the bullywug drops, the Sable gets so excited that this happened. She's like, I can't believe I did that. It's so awesome. And she just runs and just runs away from you guys and just runs deeper into the forest.
Oh no.
And Professor Pinefeather's like, after she's like, she breathes a couple and she's like, are you guys all okay? And she's like, Sable, where are you going? And then she's like, guys, students, we need to hide these bodies under the trees, and we need to go get Sable now. So who's gonna hide these bodies?
Jack is on it.
Gogar's got the other two. He just grabs them and gives them a good. Maybe it's too much strength, but he attempts to just huck the other two in.
So you just toss him into the trees underneath
If they
there
even
into the
get there,
bush.
he's not even.
And then Jackie just kind of drag and then like roll it in.
Yeah.
One of them's hanging upside down from a tree limb by its leg.
I think she said hide the body, Skogard.
And then as you get through and you go all the way, you're going through the forest, and you run and you're walking fast, and the professor's running, and then you just see Sable. Sable's just, come on, move with me. Here we go. Right? Oh, almost. Made these too small. There. You see Sable is just like kind of sitting by this bush, just like kind of picking at her toes and just like looking at some grass and stuff. She's like, oh, hi guys. And the professor's like, Sable, you cannot just run off like that, you lunatic. What's wrong with you? It's like, oh, I'm just so sorry. I'm just so excited to go. And I'm really hungry. Is anybody else hungry? I'm hungry. And the professor says, yeah, that's a good point. Is anybody else hungry? We can snack. We can
walk back there.
we can snack real quick. Luca, are you hungry?
Always.
Does this look like the same Sable who just ran off screaming and just kind of forgot about everything?
I mean,
I'm kind of suspicious that.
That's fair. You can do.
Something seems odd. That
you can do a perception check if you want, or insight, maybe.
Well, no. I got a 10, so okay. I guess this is normal. What do I know about how people behave after they see people get murdered?
So.
Are you okay, dearie? I mean, that was pretty scary, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, but I'm okay. And she's just gnawing on like. She's gnawing on like some dry jerky. As she's a
vegetarian from last night, or she's like waffles.
No, she's
on that issue.
she's the meatitarian. and Jack, the professor comes up next to you, and she's like, Jack, come, why don't you come over here with me for a minute. And she kind of like tries to like kind of walk you over here off to the side, and as everybody else is just kind of like hanging out and sort of snacking on some rations and stuff.
Gets a serious look on his face, gives everybody else like a wink when he walks away. Yes, Professor, yes.
And she's like, it's like you displayed some very nice prowess out there. It's been a while since I've had a chance to be out in the field, so to speak. So I don't want you to get the wrong impression of me if you see I get a little bit of hunger in my eyes, and if fights do present themselves. I just don't want you to think differently of me.
Listen, Professor, this was an unexpected. I mean, this is what we're here for, though. Like, this is not on you. This is I don't know what those bullywugs were doing. It's very strange indeed. I'm just glad that we were able to make work of them. And man, you were very impressive out there with your swords and everything. I mean, you You were like moving like the wind.
Why? Thank you. I would hope so. I mean, I am. I am level 18 after all.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 20, you're definitely on the higher end.
That's that was my rating. That was my university rating last year, as a matter of fact, level 18.
Yeah, I think I saw that in your. I think I read that about. I think I've heard that somewhere.
Fair. And I need let's see, I need Lucar, Izuri, and Skogar to all make dex saves, please.
Dex saves.
And just tell me what you get.
17.
14.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. Great. You all continue to have your snacks. Everything's just fine.
I just, I know that, you're a great professor. I can just tell. Sometimes you just know. I can see it. I'm already inspired by you. I just want you to know that, Professor.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's students like you and this group that give me hope for the future of our land.
Group? Oh yeah, them. Yeah, no, they're cool too.
I mean, who knows when the second coming of the morning could happen? We need to be ready. That's why we teach the way we do. We want everybody to be prepared. We want people to be able to defend themselves.
I'm sorry, you said the second coming. You want to expand on that?
There's a lot of research in some of our amongst some of our let's say former alumni that are doing research to try to determine any potential for the second coming of the morning, because what we don't want another Mournland in Eberron. That would be very bad.
Yeah, no, that'd be very bad. Of course, no, I get it. I just wanted to see like where you were like on that like scale of 1 to prepper. Where were you at with the coming of apocalypse? I guess I'm just want to see where your headspace is. I guess
I think first we need to solve how the morning even happened in the first place before we can fully make the determination if another one's coming. But we do have some solid researchers on the task. So we'll see what happens. Lissa, make a dex save.
15.
Okay.
Yeah, like is that something that like
professor, is that like or is it doctor?
Well, it's I've been saying professor, but it's technically should be doctor, but we'll say professor, so it's fine.
So these researchers, who are they researching the morning, or are they just top men?
And she's like, she looks at you, Jack, and she's like, I really need to learn to whisper better. And then she turns to you, Velma, and she's like, what was that? What was that again?
Who are these researchers researching the morning? That's certainly an interest for all of us, I believe, as you know, the legacy of the mornings affects us all. And
they're probably graduate students, Velma. Why don't you go eat some snacks with the rest of the people?
That is wow. That is. The professor says
right,
that is exactly.
Insight, because you're acting weird too. That was 19.
What's he
I'm pretty sure that I can see that Jack is infatuated with
you.
Professor.
You 100% can see that.
Can I roll a deception on that? Because actually, I wasn't being deceptive at all.
You can try to.
I was not being deceptive about it at all. As far as I know, I'm still under the charm from her.
Yeah, Skogar brazenly and rudely kind of walks into Jack and Professor's conversation. Professor, so I noticed you killed those bullywugs just perfectly. I don't know what you did there. What should I do? Where should I reach for it? Like,
Jack
where should I hit him?
Runs his hand through his like blonde hair and just sighs. And just is
Yeah,
like,
he's like all
I'm
of
sorry,
his.
Doc, I'm sorry.
So the professor says, well, Skogard, they're not actually dead. They're unconscious.
Yeah, okay.
They're in a weakened unconscious state.
I mean, that one smelled really bad.
I mean, I think that's natural for them, though.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't try to eat one.
I'm glad you did too. I'm glad you didn't as well.
I'll watch better next time. I'll figure it out. You show me the best way, and I'll figure it out.
So she says, Velma, our first ever graduates, we have a group of them that are actually in the moorland doing research currently, and they're going to help provide us with more information. And they're actually there is in, I believe it's in third year, I believe there's actually an opportunity to do a short mission, a mission abroad, and actually go to the moorland and help collect data with those alumni. So that is an option in the future if you so desire.
That was a research path we could take. Maybe I'll talk to my advisor about that.
That sounds great. That would be a great idea.
Other questions I might have. These, you said, I thought I heard you say that you've never seen a bullywug eat a corpse flower seedling. I don't think anyone has ever. What do we use them for? Why were we harvesting them?
Well, we're trying to collect them so they don't grow more corpse flowers. Because the corpse flower drops them as it travels. And so we need to take care of collecting any that are dropped so that they do not actually take root and grow into corpse flowers themselves.
So I'm going to infer that we're going to burn them out here in the wilderness, or are we taking them back with us and they're going to kind of be stored somewhere?
We would collect them and take them back. It is likely that we would prior to destroying them, we would likely do some research upon them, but would not allow them the opportunity to take root. Does that make sense?
It sounds plausible, yes. And I will make a big show for. Damn it! I keep forgetting your name. I don't have a photogenic memory. Sean, you are Lucar. Make a big show for Lucar using his green quill and a notebook I bought at the bookstore before we left. And
nice.
I wrote that down. What Pine Feather's explanation was for the corpse flowers.
Great. And then she says, and then you see Professor just her head perks up, and she's like, "Do you hear that?" She's like, "Lissa, can you hear that?"
What is it?
Roll perception.
Oh dear. 7.
Okay. Yeah, you just say, "What is that?" It's like, you don't hear the chittering noises? We need to go.
Okay.
Students, we need to go. And then you can start hearing this, like these faint chittering noises, like almost sounds like rat noises. And she leads you guys out of this area the forest. And then as you guys start walking, and you're walking, let's see. So you're walking through, and you come upon an area that's like, so this like, it's like this like sort of like a tiered ground that kind of goes up. So it's like the edge is like stone, but then there's like grassy areas there. And she's like, aha, here. And then she's like, there's a seedling there, and then there's one up here. And she's like, someone come help me grab these.
Well, Jack volunteers.
Of course he does.
Yeah. Let's gather what we can, right?
Yeah. So she plucks someone out. She's like, you really have to twist it to get it out of the ground.
Did I try to, like examine her hand, see what she's doing, and then
you see she's like, like doing this whole thing of like pulling and twisting, and then it's like these really like gnarly, gross looking like roots that are like about like yay long. They're just like about fingers length long. They're being pulled out of the ground. And she's like, they're already taking root. We need to find these quickly.
Yeah. And then she starts grabbing some.
Okay. And then she has a pouch that she puts it in, and then she holds her hand out to take the one that you grabbed.
I mean, I accidentally, not so accidentally, like, touch her hands, like as I pass it to her. Maybe linger a little too long.
There's like the weird anime eye lock moment for a second where it's like, duh, and you see it and like the flowers in the background like floating around and stuff.
Right.
And it's like and then she kind of looks away, like sort of embarrassed, and puts it in her pouch. And as she and then she says, "Oh, before we go any further, do any of you need all of you feeling okay? Do any of you need any healing?"
I'm fine.
I think it's important we stay in tip-top shape. Anyone?
I mean,
I look at Azuri with there's a big gaping spear wound in Azuri over there.
I pay no attention. I'm fine. It's nothing.
I don't know, the whole front of your shirt, it's all crimson.
We don't want any festering wounds in our dorm later tonight.
Yeah, actually, Professor, now that you mentioned it, I did take a stab wound there while I shot some arrows at those bullywugs.
So the professor reaches into a separate pouch, and she pulls out some she pulls out like a small handful of good berries, and she comes over to you, Jack, and she goes like this, and she goes to place them in your hand, and she does it like this, where she's like lets the fingers like go like this on your hand, and she drops them in, and then she takes her hand away, and Azuri, she comes over to you, and she just puts her hand on your shoulder, and you can feel the wound slowly start to heal itself up. And you're just brought back to full health. Because Jack, I'm assuming a handful of good berries will take care of you.
Yes, I plop the first one in my mouth while making intense eye contact with her.
So
as I'm looking at Jack, I'm going to ask the professor another question about these good berries. I heard that each one is equivalent to an entire day's ration. So is there any chance that if you eat more than one, you'll have urgent situation
developing? Lembas bread, Delma, go away.
I think
I just heard that maybe you want to go easy on good berries and like keep it down to 1 or 2 a day.
I think they've bioengineered that out a little bit, so maybe you can do about 4 to 5.
Yeah, I think maybe we should trust the professor who's clearly has the credentials to hand out good berries to the students. Velma.
Out of game. I just thought that was funny. That's a kind of a house rule that You start to have to make Constitution rolls if you
nice.
Too many
Nice.
good berries.
too many good berries.
So Jack, the professor looks at you and says, No, Jack, it's okay. It's okay. Velma's doing a very good job. Trust but verify. Trust but verify. Everybody remember that phrase. Lucar, take note. Take note. Trust but verify.
Got it.
And as she says it one more time. Trust but and then right as she tries to finish saying that, you guys are so like just out of nowhere, you see a dozen bullywugs all come from out of like the trees and stuff, like they've been in hiding, and they all have spears and they're like hurt, 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 hurt. And they're like they kind of like surround you and they form like a circular wall around all of you. And then there's
God,
one.
I thought that chittering was spiders.
And then there's one larger one that's in the background. And then the professor says, she's like, takes the time to pause to it's like no, Velma, I believe in educating in the moment. That noise was not the bullywugs. Those were actually cranium rats. So it's a good thing that we got moving when we did. That could have been bad news. And then she's like, trust me, I've been out in these forests for many years. I know them quite well. And then like there's one bullywug that kind of looks a little bit more like leader like than the rest of them. And he's like, and he's pointing at the bullywugs and then at you guys and then pointing like in another direction. And the professor says, okay, class, let's see where this goes. We could probably take all these guys, but it might come at the cost of one of you dying, and I didn't sign up for that on this field trip.
No.
Don't worry, Professor. I know what they're after. And Skogar grabs one of the corpse flower seedlings and kind of walks up. Is this what you want? Yeah. Is this what you want? It's mighty tasty. And he takes a bite.
Oh no!
Out of the corpse flower. He starts spitting it out. That happens.
Unexpected. Completely unexpected.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you spit it out, so that's a good thing.
I mean, he chewed it a bit.
So you feel like you kind of feel just a skosh ragey, but it's not going to last. So you all of a sudden just get really irrationally angry.
No. You want this? You want this?
and the one leader bullywug goes. He starts actually speaking in like a really basic broken common, and he's like, you, I know you speak. Invaders are forest. We take you pen other invaders. No, try fight then die. You go now. And the bullywugs like kind of start to nudge you a little bit with their spears, not enough to do any damage, but just kind of poke you to keep you moving along. And the professor says, "Okay, let's just go follow them. Let's not try to tempt fate. Skogar, I know you probably got a little amped up, but you're gonna have to try to control yourself, okay?"
Will this be on the test? I haven't been taking notes.
She says, "This is the test." And then she's like, "And you're doing a wonderful job." And then
that thing tasted so bad.
And then they lead you into this area, and you start to they start to walk you through, and you see like they take you to a more cleared out section. You see a large recessed pond. As they bring you closer, and you see that there's a rather large cage that's actually floating in the center of the pond. And you also see a stone altar with a very abstract carving of a bullywug. And then as you approach and you get a little bit closer to the statue area, you see this guy right here, this one bullywug who's kind of lanky and like sort of like kind of looks like slick and lanky. And he greets you. He's got this sadistic smile and he says, "Why, hello, travelers. You look weary. How about a nice dip in the pond? It will feel completely invigorating." And he starts to like wave his hands around, and you see all this energy coming from, you see like this, he's drawing like this design in the air in front of him, and then he just sort of like goes like that. And I need everybody to make a wisdom save, please. Including Sable as well.
All right.
4. That's not good.
Oh.
14.
Okay.
7.
Okay.
17.
Unless this is charm.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
Lissa, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, wait, what did Alyssa get?
Oh, Lissa got 13, but Sable got 19.
Okay. All right. So, and Skogar, what did you get?
17.
Okay. So all of you, after he says, shortly after he says, it will feel completely invigorating. He says, go into the cage in the water. And all of you walk towards the water and slowly walk into the water. And there's like envision, if you will, in the center of this pond, there's like a decent sized little cage that's like part way submerged in the pond. So it's like about, so like Lucar, like your head will just be above the water.
Yeah.
Right. But the rest of you is like submerged underneath. So everybody else, it's like like their waist-ish, right? Waist stomach area. And then so everybody goes into the water. And Jack, you're looking at you see everybody going into the water, and you're kind of confused by it.
I'm gonna go and make sure the professor is okay with it, and then we'll head with her into the water as well.
Okay.
Like professor, we're cool, right? What's going on? We're just going along with it.
All I know is I want to go in the water.
All right. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's do this for now, and we'll figure out what's going to do, right, Professor? I trust you.
Exactly.
But I'm just trying to verify, right? Like you said, trust and verify. This is what we should be doing, right?
Well, trust but verify in the water. And then she and then you see like one of the bullywugs grabs Sable. She's like, "Oh, water. And one of them, and like the bullywug they pull out this like burlap sack, and you see one of them puts their hand over her mouth for a second, and then takes her hand away and puts a sack over her head and pushes her back with everybody else. And she's like, like you can hear like her voice is muffled. And she's like with all of you, and then And then as you all get put into the cage, the bullywug closes the cage, and then the shaman he comes down over here now, and he's like standing at the edge here of the water. You're all in the cage. Cage is closed. And there's a couple bullywugs like standing actually in the water, like just outside the perimeter of the cage. And he says, what does he say? Let's see. Yeah. So first you see like Sable like starts to like flail her arms around wildly, and she's trying to pull the sack off of her head, and can't pull the sack off of her head. And once you all enter the water, you feel like you break out of whatever trance you were in, and now you're all like just in the water in this cage, like basically like imprisoned inside this cage. You see Sable's like freaking out, like with this like the sack or this hood thing that's like on her head, and she's like frantically trying to get it off, and she can't.
Can I pull that sack off her head?
God, I was wondering if somebody was going to do it. Everybody's just like, oh, I
felt like we were in a
She's got a
trance
sack
there.
on her head. It's
Right.
fine.
When we got in the water, we were out of the trance. So
Yes, correct.
I thought we were hitting a
Okay.
cliffhanger, so that's
Correct. We're about to. So
I mean, is it tied on? Because I'd rather do dexterity than a strength check.
it's it's a pretty basic knot.
All right.
So no check needed. So you untie and you pull it off, and then you see like as soon as you pull it off, she's like her eyes look wild, and like her pupils are dilated, and she's shaking her head back and forth violently, and she's just like, I'm so mad. And then the shaman says, yes. It's like, it would seem that the experiment is working. And he laughs and walks around the edge of the pond. And then he looks at you, Skogar, and he says, you there, big man, wouldn't you like incredible bursts of energy and strength anytime you want it?
Of course.
It's like, well, let me tell you. He's like, I will tell you how we can make that happen. It's like, so as it turns out, we've discovered a very precious commodity here in the Duskwood. And
if it's those cork flowers, no thanks, though. Those are disgusting.
And he pauses as you look around, you guys see like all these little bulbous shapes float up to the surface of the water. And he says, turns out corpse flowers drop their seedlings here in the pond in the Duskwood. And if we harvest them before they escape out of the water, they make a mighty fine snack that will give you a great amount of unbridled power. And the shaman smiles this big, huge smile, toothy smile. We are collecting these by the crate loads and selling them. Such a great money maker for the Duskwood Bollywood community. And he does a little jig step, and he's like, look at your classmate. Why, she loves it. And he was like just like freaking out, like she's not attacking any of you, but she's just like kind of like she doesn't know what to do with herself because she's so like amped up. And he says, see up there? And he points up like past the statue, and you see there's two tents that you see in the background. He said, 2 of those tents are where we process those seedlings into powder and then into small tablets that we then sell to folks as a performance enhancer.
Wouldn't it be just easier if you just like snorted the powder? You didn't have to turn it into a pill. But...
That's rather revolutionary.
Yeah. Why don't you try it?
You and I may need to talk later.
Whose side are you on, Skogar?
And at this point is where we're going to end. So essentially, what you've stumbled upon a little bit of a Breaking Bad kind of vibe moment where they're like basically taking corpse seedlings and processing them into a pretty much like a significantly powerful, potentially harmful steroid. And your group will have to figure out how you're gonna get out of this situation. Any closing comments?
Is there still any? I'm gonna look in the sack. Is there still anything in there?
Nope.
She snorted it all.
All right, cool. Well, hope you had fun, and we will pick it back up next week.